This is the Realty Classroom Podcast, episode number 201. Opinions suck, but data is delicious. Are you a real estate agent who wants to build your real estate job into a business without sacrificing your lifestyle, but you just can't seem to find the right plan or any plan to help you get there? Well, then, hey, you are definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Realty Classroom and the host of this podcast. Now, to help you take immediate action to get started in the right direction, I've created a free jumpstart course for you that's waiting at freeagentgift.com, freeagentgift.com. I can't believe how many of you listen to the podcast that don't take advantage of this. It's a wireframe. Look, I do this podcast as a coach, but you have to remember, I own a brokerage which is now licensed in multiple states, and I run my own book of business using the same wireframe, and I teach it. Take it. It's yours for free. Freeagentgift.com. All right, let's get started. Opinions suck, but data is delicious. So the first point here is, I hear this all the time, and I'm going to ask you to stop saying it. I feel that what? Right? I feel that what? You feel what? I mean, especially if you haven't been around the business for a long period of time, what are you feeling? Because a lot of people are going to ask you for your opinion. See, I teach new agents this all the time when they join the Griffin, our brokerage. I say, look, it's pretty simple. When somebody says, what do you do for a living? Oh, I have a real estate license and I do that part-time, full-time, whatever you are, whoever you are, you have claimed and put a stake in the ground that says, I am a realtor, a real estate agent, whatever, realtor more specific. You've joined the National Association of Realtors, but you're trying to be a professional. And so when somebody asks you a question, which they will, inevitably, the first question they're going to ask is, how's the market? It's what they do. I start talks about this, live venues about this. What's the first thing people ask us as real estate professionals? How's the market? It'd be the same thing if a stockbroker, you're a stockbroker. How's the market? What's going on? Right? Unless you're watching it every day and you identify as a professional in some sort of an arena, I'm going to ask you, how's that thing? So when you start off the answer by saying, well, I feel, and maybe somebody's more specific. What do you think is going to happen with all these interest rates going up, and you affects the mortgage rates and all these programs, and prices coming down? What do you think? Well, I feel that it's going to be a buyer's market, or I feel the sellers are going to be fine. Well, what does that even mean? What do you mean? How can you even say that? It's just a wandering generality that's like saying nothing. Anybody without a real estate license can give you that sort of an opinion. Right? That's what I mean. So as a professional, if you're just giving that generalized opinion, that sucks. That's non-professional, unprofessional. You no good, right? No bueno, as they say. So what you have to start doing is understand that there is data that's available to you through the MLS and many other sources. But the multiple listing service, once you joined it, what you got access to was data, tons and tons and tons of data. I know. You had this, data science, that's all I hear, or big data, that's all I hear. Duh. Because that's what rules the world. And it always has. Information. You live in the information age. That's also known as data. And data can be points and statistics and prices and facts, folks. Data is factual. Assuming the data has not been manipulated by somebody. Of course, we hear many companies go awry when they start lying about their data when it comes to public reporting. Sure. Can there be liars out there? Can data be manipulated and lied about? Sure. But I'm just talking about data that's been just simply accounted for. That's relatively easy to double check. And in the MLS, you don't have to do a lot of double checking. We have to put in the sold price. And we have to upload contracts, and somebody does a QC, a quality check, because otherwise our industry's nothing if it can't be honest data. Now, the cool thing about all that data is it tells the truth. It's a fact. It's a memorialization of a fact. Let's think about this for a second before I get into its application. I feel that the market is going backwards and prices are reducing. Well, there's data in there. Let's just say you go into a zip code, or you go into a city, or you go into an area, whatever your MLS labels an area as. You can pick any of them. And you could simply go in and say, what was the, for example, median price at the beginning of the year, January 1st of 2020, whatever. Okay. I want to keep this evergreen, so I won't give you the date. So what you do is you look at the median price, and then you go 6 months into the future and you have another median price. And if you want all of them and you want to chart the data for the trend line to see where the median price has gone in the specific geography, that's available to you right now in MLS, the multiple listing service. It's there. You can find the median price for the geography within which you want to do business or within which you're doing business, so that when somebody asks you a question about how's the market, at least you have an answer that's a meaningful specific and not some wandering generality that you feel. And it's your opinion. State the fact instead. I mean, look, I'll get into opinions in a second and where they start to matter. But in the beginning, everything should be data-based, because that's about as close to the truth as it gets, right? And hopefully it is the truth. So if I look at the median price and I watch the trend line over the last 6 months, I am an informed professional about the median price in the area within which I have some expertise. Even if this is your first week in real estate, boom, the minute you join, go in there and chart that course. Now you can say, well, you know what's interesting here in Beacon Hill is that the median price started in January at 1.3, and now it's down to 1.1525. Be specific too. When you talk to people, the more specific the data is, the better and more powerful it is, and the more professional you sound. Super meaningful specifics. Now, I didn't ask you to go in there into the MLS and get all the data. I'm starting with a point that is very interesting to a lot of people. The median or average price. Median being the middle price. So all these properties sell. What's the one in the middle? All these properties sell, which the average can be skewed because some of the super, super high-end stuff can pull the average up higher. So in my marketplaces, Cape Cod and Boston, we get skewed. The average gets skewed well above the median because of the ultra-luxury stuff on the waterfront on the Cape and the super high, end penthouse type of stuff in Boston. So we get skewed way up there, right? So that's what happens. So the median or the middle price gives us more of a depiction of the distribution, and the average says, but isn't this interesting? So imagine the meaningful, specific conversation you could have if you knew the trend on the median price in your area and the average. How interesting are you versus saying, well, I feel like prices are going to come down. Great. Great. Well, what a crystal ball that is. You really read my palm there. You really told the future there, Nostradamus. Pretty good. You see, the data just makes you sound so professional, so intelligent, and it only took a little bit of homework. I know you hate homework. Numbers, I don't do that. All that nonsense you tell yourself. Well, then turn your license in. But quite frankly, turn your license in. If you're that lazy where you won't go into MLS, which you pay for as a member, and you won't root around in there and find some interesting data to talk about, I don't really care what data you talk about as long as it's relevant to your marketplace and it makes you more professional. Look, each month, what we do as a company and in this coaching program, I make sure everybody in this coaching program has this templated one-page data sheet that answers the question, how's the market? So we have all the cocktail talk data on there, or statistics. We have the average price. We have the days on market. We have the inventory as measured in months, because everybody loves to talk about the inventory. Is the inventory going up or down? Well, it's actually quite complicated the way we talk about inventory, absorption rates and all that stuff, but give them a number that's specific. So we actually give that data away on our website. We mail it to our clients, our past clients. But more importantly, we empower our agents with the conversation to talk professionally. So when they go out on the social media venue that they like the most, whatever it might be, our younger agents love Instagram and TikTok. They're all over the place. And I want to see, when I go there, meaningful specifics. That's what I want to hear. And I want to hear them talk about the data. Just tell about the data. Okay. Now, another way that data becomes hugely important to the real estate agent versus an opinion is like, well, I just feel like I should do buyers because I just got started. In Boston, I hear, oh, well, I've been told that I should really cut my teeth on rentals. Yeah, so I feel I should do that. I feel I should do what? This is not the way you make a smart business decision. So the third point here is you can use data to specifically target the best business for you. Now, I know you might have a feeling and a passion for, say, first-time home buyers. You had a terrible experience as one, and that's why you got into real estate, and you want to help first-time home buyers. Okay, good. That's a good passion. But you have to be honest about targeting the best first-time home buyer business in the best geography, because this is a business. And if you're not profitable, you'll quit. And then you'll blame something other than the data. I just didn't feel it was for me. See what I mean? See the slippery slope that feeling about everything gets you into and onto, and down you go, right? Let me give you the application of how we use data also to target the best business. Let's say I take that monthly sheet and I look at it. And I say, I wonder what the data looks like over in that luxury area. I've always been afraid to do luxury. I've always been worried that those people are so much smarter than me that own those houses. I've heard it all, by the way. Okay. Well, why don't you just look at the data? Well, yeah, but she gets all the business over there. He gets all the business. They get all the business, right? That's what we say to ourselves, and we talk ourselves out of this. Okay, great. Stop. Whatever. You want to talk yourself out of it? I've got a whole other podcast called the bonus section for what goes on with suction. Sometimes I suction out my own brain. So the bonus section talks about what goes on in like the 4 or 5 inches between your ears. But this one is very black and white about the business. Okay. I use data and I look at what the median price is in a variety of areas within which I could physically cover. And I make the best decision to push my marketing in the direction where the most profitable and the highest priced properties are. I'm very confident that the seller system that I have works at any price range because people are people. I know everybody wants to, well, my marketing, right? A simple system sells any kind of property. Yes, you should be a great marketer for any kind of property, and you should be diligent. But the idea is I'm using the data to know where this profitable business is. And by the way, I did not do this early in my career because there was nobody out there talking like this. Nobody was giving this sort of advice. Everybody was just saying, well, what's your business plan? I thought you had one for me. No, nobody has a business plan. Okay, let's just start doing this on muscle. And you make a lot of bad decisions. So a good decision is to look, where are the best properties being sold? What geography? And then look at all the properties being sold there. Even the lower end, quote unquote, in a really good area can be really profitable. Look at the median price and set a goal for yourself that says, I'm going to target the median price in that luxury area. And I'm not going to try to pick a fight with the people that are getting the 20 million, the 10 million, the 5 million, the million, whatever it is in your area. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to look at the median price and I'm going to target that business. And there seems to be a lot of it in that area. And when I look at the data on who's actually doing the business, even the top producers only have a small percentage of it. So it seems like if I have a good, unique selling proposition, I can compete. All from data. I know I'm talking fast today. I'm hype for this subject. Just use the data to make good decisions. And the last point here is once you become cognizant that there's all this data and these statistics, which is not rocket science, it's just like a fact. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking you to do math. I'm asking you to just look at these data points that are facts about what's happening. But then once you become conscious of all this, and I've made you conscious if you've heard this podcast, too late, you can't go back. I want you to spend a lot of time considering all the data that you have available to you. I'm not saying use it all. I want you to just sit back for a second and consider all the data that is available to you everywhere, not just MLS. If any of you are more sophisticated marketers, for example, and you're using digital marketing on Facebook or Google, well, my gosh, you can't be in better hands than those two companies because, man, they're going to give you some data. They're going to tell you the profile of the user within reason. Facebook got in massive trouble for breaking a lot of federal law by allowing you to very specifically target very specific areas, which is a no-no in our business. However, they're still going to tell you the profile, because I'm experiencing it right now in one of my Facebook ad campaigns, of the age of the people. They're telling you, right? So I saw that. That's interesting data. And it turns out they're all the people I would love to target if I could. because I like to target people that are 45 and older because they tend to understand my academic approach better. They appreciate the effort. They're less emotional. They don't feel, they see the data. So I like that, right? Then that's one example. Facebook and Google, they're going to give you tremendous data if you spend any money. But how about social? What if you're just posting for free and you're doing that? And I know a lot of you young agents are just obsessed with social and you think you're going to grow a great business there. Well, good. You better just track the data behind it. I mean, TikTok and Instagram, they would love to tell you about the insights and the analytics and the data. Have you ever even looked at it and really figured it out? Or are you just throwing content out there hoping that some business magically walks in the door? So the data will tell you what's happening. And then if you don't drive it to somewhere where they can be captured, or you're not suggesting they DM you and engage you, you don't even know if the stuff is working without that kind of data and without those calls to action. See, this is a business approach. You got to wake up, smelling salt moment here. Stop feeling about stuff and start getting very scientifically specific about how something works. Let me go back and summarize these points. Opinions suck, but data is delicious. And I mean that. My opinion sucks versus the data and then my interpretation. So the point is, just stop saying, I feel, right? And really replace it with, I know that the data, how about that? Next, the second point was, because the data tells the truth. Your opinion could be a wild guesstimate of what's going to happen, whereas stating fact, even if it's a lagging indicator of what happened, meaning it already happened in the past, and we don't quite know how to predict the future, but it's better than your opinion. It's maybe an indicator of a direction where things are going, right? So data tells the truth. 3, use data to specifically target the best business. Just go in there and see where the best properties are selling for how much, and you can use that to target it. Then remember, you can spend a lot of time considering all the data as business people that you have available, including the statistics on all the social media platforms and all the metrics that a pay-to-play game will give you. On and on it goes. Let me summarize it this way. Maybe this will make it easier. Too many real estate agents start off a professional discussion. Listen to that. They start a professional discussion with the words, I feel. Does anybody care how we feel? I don't know. They want to know from a professional. So, however, having said that, there are certainly many veteran agents who have developed an intuitive feeling about how the market is behaving or how an outcome will be achieved. I'm one of them. I have a lot of intuition about this, but that scares me because intuition is never a match for solid data. Never. Facts are facts. Now, data simply doesn't lie and is there for you. See, the data is there for you to study and make educated statements about how the market facts are behaving. And that begins to give somebody an indication of where it could go versus a hard absolute statement, right? So you must not ignore the data or you'll sound less than professional against the competition like me that has a firm understanding of the facts. Come on, pay attention to the facts. All right, remember, you can take immediate action and get started in the right or better direction if you're already in the business with our free simple business plan that's waiting at freeagentgift.com, freeagentgift.com. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen and we syndicate. We also do post our content on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe to the Realty Classroom channel, the Realty. Just 2 beats, by the way. Realty, no realty. Realty Classroom channel. We'd also appreciate it if you would share our content with other real estate agents just like you so they get the help that they need. But remember this, we sign off the same way every time. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody. So go get to work on your business and we'll see you in the next episode to agitate you to do just that. Thanks.